Bandicody, the time has come. Execute episode 66. It's episode 66 of the Boundless Shores. I'm gonna kill the party, or I mean the Jedi.
No, you were right the first time.
I was right the first time. I am, of course, Dungeon Master Wes, back at it again with Boundless Shores, here with my punching bag players, I guess, as I've now devoted myself to killing them. Today. Of course, we got James, the Magical Hamas, we got Chris, we got Liam, nope, we got Nate, and then we got Liam. I think everyone can see the same setup that I can.
Yep.
So bing bang boom, no need to guess. Wow, we're going speedrun this time. I don't think we're doing many flubbing around. Does anyone want to recap the last little bit, the last Chris, you look eager. You want to do it.
Following a harrowing battle at the Raid Industries plant, the Arenaul were shocked to find themselves as rescuees rather than rescuers at the hands of the Vainglorious X's sanguicides. As eventually the various Titan mechs were put down, it seems that this is part of a ongoing public relations win-over inside of the city of New Daria, wherein there was an expectation of the populace to capitulate to the demands of the Vainglorious X and to win over their stance of that their forces were to be hailed as the saviors. After realizing that this was leading to the people at large turning against the Arenaul, there was a desperate flight back to the docks as Alistair broke off from the group to collect the last of the remnants back at the mended drum before finally taking back to the oceans inside of the candelabra.
After a bit of merriment and as best tried to recover after the raid on raid. Orgolan decided to take some time to himself as he decided to meditate in his room. During the meditation, he had an encounter with Angor, who told him to learn the ways of diplomacy and learn when to fight and when to make peace. Time is probably waning on about 9 or 10 o'clock at night as the candelabra drifts upon the calm waters. You see kind of a rolling gray cloud overhead. Winds are subtle, but yeah, in the direction which you guys are need to travel, which is the island of New Anghor. As you all quest to return to the cavern where you all, Shy, Alistair, met Tyrael. Is there any conversation, anything anyone gets up to during the waning hours of the night before you all head off to sleep?
I continuing from before, continue writing down the instructions of the Asherati sand sculpture technique and writing a personal note to Milo not to be opened until the time of my death.
Awesome. That's beautiful. Does anyone else need to get up to anything this evening?
Well,
Yeah, I'm going to go into and investigate the sludge vial that I had.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a knowledge arcana roll.
Dirty 20.
30-20. So, okay. Is your prodding at the very viscous liquid, this almost inky sludge, you you're studying it. It's it glows and oozes in this disgusting black purple infectious magic, one that you're very familiar with. Um, Did this vial? This is the one that you got from the whatever bubonic puked up, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So differently to the sludge that you puked up, because you also have a vial of that. Yours is a lot more liquidy, while this one's a lot more solid. This and it yours just kind of has the magical, like the same Everdark magic to it. This it kind of more pulses. It weirdly reminds you of a heartbeat, which you kind of can deduce that this is probably on a cellular level probably more advanced than what you had experienced. But considering what you saw that came out of Beckett, which was a very similar uh, vial. I'm gonna say that you also picked up a vial of that before Vidal and Safiri carried her away. I can't remember if you did that, but I'm gonna say you did because you're studying that as well. The stuff that came out of Bubonic and Beckett are very similar. But you notice actually that the bubonics sludge is stronger in magic. But I think that's all really that you can glean from that. You can take that as you wish. But Yonton, as you're studying this the sludges, your nose is hit with like a fungal aroma. As you turn and look towards your staff, you see upon like the upper parts, you see clumps of this a pale green cap with like a beige stalk. This grows in clumps, just dotted on near the top of your bow staff.
Okay, interesting. I'd like to examine that as well.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll me a knowledge nature.
Okay. Ooh, baby. That's gonna be a 28.
28. So you recognize this fungus as a Amica Aeternus, which, if you could give me a knowledge history, but you can also add your druid level to that roll.
Yeah.
This is history on plants.
Natural 20.
Get out of town. This particular fungus is not very special. Except for the fact that colonies of it, or the um, different mushrooms that came from the same spread of spores, they share almost um, like a hive-like bond between them, where they can react to one another's um one another, whatever happens to the other will happen. So that's why they're very great with growing outwards in colonies and groups. But you think about the name of the mushroom, Amica Aeternus, which you translate from Old Juradic as old friend. As you study this and you think on that, you notice a kind of a warm breeze kind of drifts in through the room as a gust of spores kind of blow off of the mushrooms and drift in the wind, pass up the window.
Interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but otherwise, that's all I'm going to do for the night.
Excellent. Anyone else? You going to bed? What do we think, lads?
When I finish off for my shift for piloting the ship for the night, I'll crawl down into my workshop and I'll go ahead and visit Zinnia.
Remind me. I'm blanking.
My dedicated right, my co-crafter. My little homunculus.
Oh, the homunculus. Yes, I don't remember what voice I did for it.
Oh, like this!
Master! It is so good to see you return.
It's been a very busy few days. When you have the chance,
Fruitful?
not profitable in the least, But
Ooh.
as
Sorry to you in your pocket, sir.
you'll notice that on the first floor there's a number of construct parts. If we could sift through those in order to organize what remains as viable and dispose of what is not, then I would appreciate that. But
Of course, of course. Is it for the project?
it may find use that way. I still need to contact the patron with regards to that. But
Right,
nevertheless,
sorry. I know you said I shouldn't talk about it, but I talked about it. I'm sorry.
it's distasteful to me as well, but it is still an effective means to an end. So,
Of course.
this evening, on the other hand, I'd like you to start work on something that, in all likelihood, will probably just take you until about maybe lunchtime tomorrow. I'd like you to aid me inside of uh, fetching one of the Echo Reach moon pearls from inside of the drawers and join me for an enchanting sesh, so that way we might turn it into a pearl of speech for one of our companions.
Oh, of course. I'll put on the kettle. Or the pearl. Yeah. He scuttles off and begins to put on a kettle and. Ah! Ow. Ah! I found it. Master.
Delightful. All right.
Have a good enchanting sesh.
Yes,
I'll get the cups and I'll meet you down there.
very good.
Splendid.
But yes, I would like to turn the pearl into a pearl of speech, encoded for being capable of speaking the language common.
Quite interesting. Don't know. Speak common.
By all accounts, yes. But this is an unusual circumstance. Because
We
this
like
is going to
unusual.
go this is going to go to a creature that normally should have no physical means of articulating through their voice box common. Thus, it forms a fascination to me, because while it isn't a pearl of language, it magically generates the capacity of speech.
Right. So this is why you do the thinking. He just kind of sits there with a dumbfounded look on his face.
Well, it should be a trifling matter. I'll start with the enchanting, and in all honesty, after I set that, I'll probably head in for bed myself, so I'll leave it inside of your care to finish the affairs until morning.
Of course, sir.
So to do this, it's going to be a use magic device DC check 27.
Fair enough. I'm getting the vibe, but I just want to know your plan explicitly. You plan on making a speech collar for Peter.
Well, it's actually a pearl that goes underneath the tongue that grants you the capacity for speech.
Oh, well, that's slightly more disturbing. Okay, sure. I'll just be a little clam.
You
Oh
don't
yeah,
want to
fair
know
enough.
the original purpose for them. I'll leave it at that.
Was it a suppository?
Its original intent was to be able to grant slaves of the Drow the ability to speak inside of a more hospitable tongue to their new oppressors.
It's, oh,
Because they
that's
haven't
so
stooped low
bad.
enough to learn.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
They don't want to learn that dirty common tongue.
Like I said,
Oh, that's poor Drow. Owen would be so upset about that.
I was gonna say,
I mean,
I wonder if
other stats
Orgolan
rule
has
are kind of
some
fucked up.
knowledge about these things.
well, I mean, that was the general lore. I mean, if the Boundless Shores has its own lore, of course.
Yeah. No, I think it still
Well, I
fits,
mean,
especially under like Orgolan's dad's rule.
there were two colonies of Drow. Some that
Oh, true
migrated to
that.
the Boundless Shores, and some that stayed in Shadowguard, and so that probably definitely could have happened within history. Yeah, you know,
Fun fact: my
they
character from the
migrated
last camp.
when the realms merged the first time, so they've been there a long time.
29.
My boy Galathar.
Yo, shout out
Go,
Galathar.
goats.
Eolus's Guide to Magic. Good book. #1 New Anghor bestseller. 29 on the
All one
UMD,
copy.
so that will succeed.
2 more than what I needed, and I'll take it any day.
Boom, we'll take it, we'll take it. Alistair works with, sorry, remind me of the homunculus's name again.
Zinnia.
Zinnia.
The
Now
more
we're going to bed?
horticulturally
You got
minded
something for me,
probably have
Tobin.
started to notice that there's a theme with the construct naming.
Smarter men than I, probably.
I just remembered something else that I should probably do. Before going to bed, I make sure Snapple has at least something to eat, so we are not eaten out of shipping home.
Or flesh.
That too.
You have a little chest on your night table that you've put like hay in the bottom, and you see Snapple sitting. You just see the solitary apple sitting in the center of the chest as he.
Feed me.
This is
Oh
all you're getting
no.
for tonight. Nothing more. And I expect you to stay.
Eat.
You'll get more in the morning if you're good. Wait, none of that.
Just shuts its crack and stays perfectly still. And, ah.
I will lock you up if I have to. You know, we both don't want that. Go to sleep. Then I just lay down, put my hat over my face.
As you do. No, actually, I forgot. Your bed is on the ground, so the chest is on your desk. All right, we're going to bed, or Tobin, you got something for me?
No, I'm pretty sure I did most of what I needed to do before we ended last episode, so.
Bing, bang, boom. All right. So the Adi now, after finishing their endeavors, head to sleep for the night. Within the night, Calduin, Tobin, and Alistair all share a dream. You feel your subconscious awaken to a crash of thunder. All around you, you see rolling clouds of deep purple and flashes of yellow lightning. Below your feet, you see a pathway of silver, as if you stand upon the flat of a blade. You see red rain pouring over you as you hear a crying wail that echoes in the space around you. You peek over the edge of the sword as it falls off to a deep black, speckled with starlight. You look behind you as you see a toiling, pungent yellow fog that rolls over your vision. As it passes over you, a cold, dark wind chills you to the bone, sending the fog adrift into the misty air. You see an image of Beckett's face flash into your mind. Her eyes glossed over in darkness, her mouth agape as if she's locked in an eternal scream. You see golden chains wrap around her wrists and ankles as she writhes and screams silently within a dark room. Suddenly you wake, sweat beating down your face. As the new day dawns, overhead, it's early in the morning, it's just a rolling light, light gray clouds blocking the sun have given you a nice pale morning. A light fog on the horizon, but nothing you can't handle. As I don't think if anyone has any morning rituals, or you can all head off into the mess hall where you all meet up to start your morning, as you're still not due in the ports of New Angor for another couple hours.
Question: when it comes to my room, is there like just sand in there anywheres?
There's sand all over. Yeah, the whole floor is covered in sand. The room is like heat modified to be a warmer climate. You have the classic Asherati sleeping pad on the floor in the corner, and then on the opposite side you have your desk where you have your sand sculpting stuff and the chest with Snapple.
Okay. Before um getting fully dressed, I take some of the sand and dust it over me, kind of like a chinchilla with a sand bath or a dust bath kind of thing. um, because that's our way of cleaning ourselves, because we don't do water.
Awesome.
After I do that, I don my clothes and my armor, and then I check on Snapple. So you actually listened for once. Come on in.
Its legs you can climb its way up the wall. You just see the eight sure it's stuck out apple parts as it crawls along the chest and onto the desk.
Would I know much about mimics?
I probably not where you're from. Like based on where you're from, that
But
seems a little
I'm only
I
asking
don't know.
because based on like just original D&D lore, it is stated that mimics were created by a wizard. So, but I know this is different, a different kind of thing. So,
Well, in a way, the thing that created Snapple was the Everdark, because they were they're like from the aftermath of the rifts, right?
yeah. Okay. I was just wondering. I wouldn't.
We've
So I would
I was
probably
wondering.
call it a mutation of the Everdark.
Okay. Yeah. I was just asking because I just was seeing if I knew if it had like the ability to like copy objects.
I don't know. Maybe it likes its apple form. Who knows? You'll have to wait and see.
Anyways, with Snapple on my shoulder, I make my way out and then gather for breakfast.
Yeah, I'll probably do the same. Just get all my stuff together, knowing that we probably should be getting there in a few hours. Packing up my bag and putting on all my clothes and armor, and then I'll head to the mess hall too. And when I see Calduin there, I'll just be like, "Did you have the dream I had?"
Depends. Did you see Beckett in chains?
Sick band name. um, yeah. Um, I guess gives you a little insight how we felt when you were trapped, where on that island we got similar visions some of the time. It's not a great feeling, but same way we got you back, we know we'll get her back.
That we will.
Alistair, you are silently eating your food. You also do overhear their conversation. Sorry to interrupt, Liam. You go ahead.
No, that's all I. That's all I had was that we will.
Yeah.
Strolling into the mess hall, I have my provisions, my provisions chest. I crack it open, pull myself out a delicate package, and then I dump out the rest across the spread of the table.
Snapple, no, stay.
Thank you. Just thank you. I'll grab myself some provisions.
Some lovely quail eggs, dried peaches, some jerked meat, some very nicely aged cheese, hardtack, and about 5 pounds of venison, about 12 pounds of
Venison.
grain.
Oh, look, he's learned a new word.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that for him. I it's his. A
Meat
full,
venison.
I'm gonna like steal a piece of venison, quick, like reach over quickly and grab some before he takes it all.
Roll me a reflex saving throw.
Okay.
roll higher, you're losing fingers.
Yeah. Right. Oh, baby, that's a 26.
Fucking
Toby's hungry. Okay.
Snapple leaps off of off of Calduin's shoulder and makes a mad dash towards your uh, slice. But as you notice it, you whip your hand away and you're like,
Bad apple.
Snapple, share.
He's a bad apple.
Cue music.
Ever on and on, I continue circle.
Oh, so that's what kills me. Okay. Snapple.
Anyways, I happily break into the dried peaches and the cheese to start the day.
Point.
Beautiful. Do you all have go on?
I was just gonna say, start munching on some jerky.
Yeah, and so does Snapple. And so does Peter. Gotta make sure you feed your Peter. As family happily munches on their rations.
Anyone seen Jonathan?
Not yet. I'm sure it'll be about soon.
Sure does like to meditate a while.
Well, much like the rest of us, I'm sure he has a lot on his mind, but
Also, anybody seen Orgolan? Normally around for coffee by now.
yeah, it should be on his second cup by now. That's a little weird.
Doesn't he usually start the day two-fisting the mugs?
Yeah.
So that's just saying he's on his first round, his first course.
Think we should send somebody to check on him.
I'm sure he'll be all right. We'll check on him before we dock if we have to.
I'll just give him a knock on the door, tell him that breakfast is ready, and while I'm down there, I'll take care of Yonatan at the same time.
Sounds good.
So I go back below deck.
Alistair walks down. You give a couple taps at Orgolan's door.
Hey, Orgolan, breakfast is up if you are too. If not, we'll be docking in a few hours, so sleep, meditate, find some way of perfecting a flying guillotine kick off of a chandelier at your leisure. Move on
A
to
couple of seconds, he
Yonatan's.
doesn't respond. See, as Alistair, you knock on Yonatan's door.
Hello.
Breakfast is up.
Oh, okay. I'll be right up.
Sounds good. Stumble back to the mess hall. 1 out of 2 are awake.
Orgolan, I assume. He's always up and at him.
Ha! You're wrong this time.
Really? Huh.
Guess we can't really blame him. He did take quite a beating.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure that I still have the Raid Industries logo imprinted along the length of my spine when I hit the wall.
That doesn't sound comfortable.
Probably should spend a few minutes with the Stoneabagu when I get back to the helm.
Might be worth it.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Morning.
Grab yourself some grains and, if you dare, the venison.
Yeah, the meat's mostly spoken for. Peter and Snapple just going ham.
They're
I'm
tug
just
of war.
Peter's
picturing a tug of
already in the
war.
mess hall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like a full deer leg that's being played as tug of war between the two of them.
Yeah.
Make that fan art. That'd be awesome.
That or like Peter's like have one half and Snapple's just dangling off the other end.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does any more conversation take place before we dock?
After I'm done eating, I decide to grab Snapple and just do some routine like dusting, cleaning up the ship, making sure it's tidy. We may be a sand race, but we aren't slobs.
Once I see the island approaching, I'll go down to Orgolan and knock on his door again.
What?
Are you coming? We're almost there.
Kind of cracks the door open. I got some things I need to think through. I'll meet up with you guys later, or worst case, just come back and meet me after you're done with the whole material stuff.
All right, but you're paying the docking fees.
Aren't we like rich?
Well, yeah, but we have a boat that we don't need to pay for docking. So if you're going to stay here, you have to pay for it.
Okay.
All right. Good luck with your stuff, I guess.
You too.
Give him a little awkward pat on the shoulder and then head back up.
He just awkwardly closes the door.
Jonathan, just like seeing what's left out of the provisions, just grabs like just grabs a couple of pieces of bread and grabs like a slice of meat, cheese, just makes himself a quick sandwich, eats it, and then he's just gonna head on up to the deck to operate the sails.
All right.
Does Unington keep his booze findings to himself for now, or?
Yeah, he's gonna keep his findings to himself for now. He doesn't want
Fair enough.
he doesn't want to let anybody know about his goings on the previous night. He doesn't want to let anybody know that it has him down.
Fair enough. Sorry, Tobin, continue. I think you were saying something.
Yeah, as we dock, I'll just be sitting there at the helm with I swear I know Alistair's name. Alistair, yeah. I'll be, oh, you haven't been here. Well, not where we're going at least. Make sure you're prepared for a trip through the jungle. We have a bit of a trek to get to where we need to go.
Okay, I'll make sure that I prepare for warm weather.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
Also be prepared for cold weather afterwards. It's a bit of a weird ecosystem.
screw it, I'm doing it magically.
Probably the easiest bet.
Sailing a boat as a man, craftsman sailing a boat as a man, craftsman sailing a boat in the magic, craftsman, wagoo, wagoo, wagoo.
I love it. The candelabra drifts into the port of New Angkor. The rolling gray clouds pass over as it sprinkles a dull rainfall upon the calm waters. You notice strangely that the port is bare. Only a few ships lay docked, but each of them have their sails furled and their docks empty.
That's odd. This is usually a pretty popular port town.
I'm definitely getting vibes from the last time we pulled into a really quiet port only to end up turning around on our heels and getting the fuck out.
Yeah. Was it out of New Angkor that we got onto the Shadow Silhouette or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys exit off the gangplank onto the deck. As you walk
Yeah, is there
forward, you
anybody
see.
working the dock?
Yeah, you see an elderly fisherman as he kind of sits crouched over as he's repairing a net.
I'll flag him down and just ask him, why are the docks so bare? Do you know?
For travelers, I see. Has a strange time, my lads. He tips his hat, stretches his beard. Haven't you heard the raising of Farhaven? Most people don't leave their homes except for food these days. What business do you have on our humble island, strangers?
Um, We're just going to the jungle. Yep.
You're not one of those mercenaries looking for work, are you?
No, we're businessmen. We're just gathering materials and whatnot. Some things can only be found in the jungle.
Kind of looks at your group suspiciously and shrugs his shoulder. I go about your day. He looks down and continues his work while muttering to himself, with no more interest in continuing the conversation.
So did he say the raising of Farham?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's spelled Razing.
yeah, I know what raising is. I just was making
Yeah.
sure that's what I heard. That's odd. Do you guys think it was another sort of riff event, or is there? Wait, did one of the what do you call them, retrievers or whatever, get out to Farhaven? Is that what we heard from Gwen? What did Gwen know about
All
their
the
location?
the retrievers all ended up in Farhaven because those are the creatures that drew the hieroglyphs in that summoned the Everdark, as you guys saw him during the
Right.
when you guys went to the island of Farhaven.
Okay. And so this island's just one of the other islands in that like cluster, right?
Yeah, it's like the most northward one. So
Okay.
Farhaven's this one, and
Yeah.
then New Angler's this one. And
Right.
also, sorry, I lied to you. It's Blackwater that you got the
Okay, that's what I
shadows to the.
thought.
Yeah, sorry, I lied to you. It's Blackwater.
No, that's
I'll
okay.
I'll go over to the man that's repairing his nets. And even so, as travelers, I feel as though it's in everyone's interest to spread good felicitations of our visit. And I cast Unseen Crafter, so that way, for the next 24 hours, there will be an invisible force also working alongside him to mend his nets.
Thank you kindly. My old fingers work very well.
Speed can also be appreciated.
Gives you a polite nod, but avoids more eye contact with you as he just seems like he no longer wants to talk to you.
Um, as we're walking out, Caldwin, or I'm just looking at the sky, a little frustrated. It's like, oh, great.
What's wrong with the sky?
It's raining. I don't do well with water.
Do you want me to take Lavender out so you can stay under one of its wings?
It would be preferable. I need to stay dry.
Easily done enough. I'll unfurl the enveloping pit and call up for Lavender to climb on out. Hey, girl. Unfortunately, we're going to need your good care with Caldwin over here. If you could just stretch your wings out in order to keep him covered from the rain. Perfect.
Unfurls the wing out.
Thank you. Yeah, the downside with Asteroides is if they get completely wet, they get a -1 to everything, which isn't much, but my luck.
If I knew about this issue of yours, then I would have seen to it that we got some honey leather back at New Daria. But oh well.
It's not really something that comes up where I'm from.
Um. So, based on what we know about the Everdark spawning in the Farhaven Isles and the Retrievers all going there, can we assume that it was either like the Retrievers rampaging or something after the Everdark came in, or should we try and like ask around to see what happened?
No, I think it is referring to the the incident that you guys went to see, the disappearances, the retrievers,
Okay.
the colors draining from the island, the horrific monstrous noises that you heard as you were retreating. And that's what I
Okay.
think he's referring to. I don't think it's a new incident.
Right. Well, then I say we just head for the mountains.
Yeah. The Arena will walk deeper into the city. See the once abundant market is now almost completely empty. All the windows are either covered or boarded up. Even the colored flags that hang above the streets seem drab and muted in a way. Any people walking on the street, which was few and far in between, avoids you and just quickly shuffles away and minds their business. All around you, you see recruitment posters to join the People's Army of the Farhaven Isles, posted on poles and message boards. On the flyer, it says, "Your lands, your freedom, bought by your hands. Stand with us and protect your Farhaven Isles."
This army is brought to you by the Bangalore Sex.
As you guys stepping out of the bounds of New Angkor City, feeling the faint humidity in the morning breeze.
I feel like
We're
this
gonna
is
take
the
a quick
time.
break. We're back. Jonathan, or not Jonathan, Alistair, did you remember what you were gonna say?
Yes, I did. I
Excellent.
figured that now is probably as good of a time as any for me to start prepping the wand of endure elements on myself.
Fair enough. Hit me with that UMD.
DC 21.
Oh, cheap boy.
Well, I mean, making it at a higher level doesn't make it any more effective.
Why is there an option to do it then?
Well, not for this spell, but for other spells, yes.
Oh, okay.
That puts it at a way too high of a 38, so yeah.
Bang boom.
And this will be a good pick me up for the next 24 hours. Boop! And let's go ahead and cast the spell. Yeah, that's a 26.
Toy.
Eldrin, you are just kind of spacing out. And as you look up, kind of brought back to reality, you just see Alistair just whack himself on the forehead with a wand.
Bippity
You
boppity.
notice he
Oh.
I cut myself, so I can't really complain here.
So into the woods.
the jungle before you wears a faded green upon its canvas. As you approach, you only hear a few trills and growls of wildlife, as most creatures are still in hibernation, as we approach the end of winter into spring. And I now trek forth into the jungles of New Angkor, once more to find the wintry caves, which is the dwelling place of Tyrael upon this mortal plane. I need a group survival check and a group climb check.
Define
Everybody
group.
give me rolls.
Okay.
I'll let you.
Oh baby, we surviving. What the hell?
Don't forget that you also have the rod.
Oh, then we surviving. Thanks. Actually, you didn't even give that back to me.
All right.
Give it back.
All right.
Both climb and survival are 19.
Excellent, true.
Rod, so
23.
You can rod one.
okay. I'll rod that one. So for the survival, it will be 16, and for the rod, it'll be like 22, which is the other
Yep.
one,
Excellent.
the climb.
So, I got Calduin, I got Tobin.
Shall I just
sorry,
climb
did I hear
on?
you, Alistair?
Shall I just climb on the back of Lavender in order to compensate for the climb check with fly?
I don't know. It's probably a pretty thick canopy. I don't know if you're going to be able to fly in it. It's a jungle.
Okay, then I could always do
Yeah,
the
it's a pretty
maritime
tight
witch.
canopy. It's a very low hanging maritime witch.
Use your
You know
flying
what? That's
harpoon.
Flying
You
harpoon
can
it
use your
is.
flying harpoon.
Is the rain getting through as much here?
No, the thick canvas overhead is blocking most of the rain. There's a few kind of drips coming from the leaves, but most of it is blocked that you don't have a hindrance.
Okay. I know this sounds like a stupid question, but would you class rain as a ranged attack?
Rain.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay, because one ability that I took a while back for my level up to 4th level in Warlock was Entropic Warding, which gives me both Pass Without a Trace and Entropic Shield. And Entropic Shield is specifically used to lower the effectiveness of ranged attacks against me, causing it to sometimes bounce in a wrong direction.
Sure.
Well,
Why
can
not?
I throw in a little bit
The
of a
clouds
dissenting?
are the clouds are projecting a area of effect rain spell
With many
from
little
the
projectiles.
heavens. Many little projectiles, and so it's not really an attack aimed for you. It's aimed to heal the plants. It's like using inflict
Oh yeah, I
wounds on
got
a
you.
zombie to heal
Yeah.
them. Um,
I, it was just a little funny, haha. We don't have to allow it if you don't want to.
I mean, like, I
That
think
would
it's
be
neat.
hundreds of
it's
attack
just,
rolls
I
every
think it's
round.
so minuscule enough that if you want the bonus, you could fucking have it.
Rules
I
cool,
just
baby.
think
You just
that's funny
occasionally.
enough.
I have an umbrella or something, but occasionally a raindrop just like hits me in the side of the face because it's just going off in the wrong direction off of Calduin.
Right? Or it's like when you're walking through like a tight city like Toronto or something, where like it seems like every single street you turn, the wind is blowing in your direction and the rain's going up all in your face. It's like, where is the end of this wind? Like, why can't I not shield it? I turn around, the wind's blowing it in my face. I turn around, it's blowing it in my face. Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
one of
sitting
those
here with
things.
my composer stick changing the direction of the wind for all you Wind Waker fans.
So basically, just this sickly purple energy just starts surrounding me, stopping the rain from falling on me.
It's just a little ghastly umbrella. No, you know what? It's even better. It's like
Mage armor, if it
the
was good.
purple energy goes over your cowboy hat and makes a little like umbrella hat extension on top of your cowboy hat.
Man, there's this one account I see on TikTok where they'll just animate like shitty animation of their like D&D things, but like instead of like Vox Machina where they just turn it into a show, they're including like all of these conversations where they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just like this and like this
Is
happening."
it the one
So
with
I'm
Chuckles the
imagining
Clown?
maybe, I'm not sure. I only see it every now and again, but it's funny, but probably. But point being, I'm pretty sure it is. But point being, I was just imagining a shitty animation of you getting like this ethereal purple umbrella and like flinging rain at me and stuff
The thing about this is I also don't leave a footprint or anything, so now I'm just a
Ooh,
ghost,
nice.
basically.
without being your ghost.
Yeah.
If you turn into wraith form while it's raining, do you just turn into like Mudman? You're like what's that like Pokemon that's just like goop.
Muck.
Are you talking
Muck.
about like
You're just muck walking along.
Wes,
Anyways.
I got
maybe more sand gas?
Jonathan got a 27 in survival and an 18 in climb, and then Peter got a 19 in survival and 18 in climb.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you all. I think Beckett's the bad luck charm here when it comes to climbing in the forest because I think the last time they were the only one that struggled as well. But you guys kind of make it up with little to no issue. The dull spurts of rain kind of dropping those uncomfortably big raindrops is on your face occasionally, except for Caldoon, who's got his fucking umbrella hat over his head. Although most of the jungle sleeps, you all feel watched. You feel many eyes follow your every move. Sometimes you hear a scuttle or a tussle in the leaves, but when you turn to look, you see nothing.
Thinking back to what Lee is it Leon? What's his name?
Leon, yep, you're right.
Oh yeah, what he said, just knowing that there were other factions and stuff that didn't necessarily agree. Tobin's basically thinking it might be either them or some of like Tyrael's servants. So just because he's not sure which it is of which, he's definitely going to be like on his guard.
Owen, can you roll me a knowledge nature and a sense motive?
So I don't have knowledge nature, but that is a nat 20.
So it's all right. Yeah, that's fine. It would just be untrained, so it'd just be your knowledge
Okay.
plus, like it would just be your d20 plus intelligence,
Okay.
and then
Well,
your sense motive.
can I wand that?
No, but on your
Wait, let
natural
me see what it would
20, I'll allow
let
you
me
to
see what
roll
the
it
sense
at
motive would.
advantage.
Oh, okay. That's a little better. I went from a 4 to an 8. Let me see what my modifier is. Um. Oh, great. That's 8.
It's wisdom plus whatever. Oh wow, Tobin is not wise.
No, he had a
Um,
-1 up until this last ability adjustment.
Based on your own beliefs and you feel a lot sharper right now. You're afraid for the safety of your comrades, and so when you feel threatened, your senses sharpen as your head is on a swivel, your eyes darting everywhere. You don't feel threatened. Whatever
Okay.
is watching you, you don't feel threatened.
Okay. Perfect.
You all climb further and further up this jungle mountain. You see as the jungle, the plains where um, dead farm fields are waiting for the new planting season. You trudge through that and through kind of like a hillock ascending approach towards the mountain where the jungle kind of takes a steep travel up the sides of the mountain. You use trunks and roots and large rocks, and as you climb your way up through the mountain, as you reach near to the summit, you climb up onto this flat rock balcony jutting out of a cave entrance nearer to the summit. You feel a cold wind pass over you as you all climb up, and the Adenowl members who have been here, you look within the familiar domed ice cave. As the rock balcony leads into the caves. You see the cold wind coming from the cave swirls and mixes with the humid air as it creates a light fog upon the cliff face.
Nice.
Above you, well, as you're looking below onto the balcony and onto the walls around you, you see the shadow of dragon wings cast over as it passes, circles back once more, and slowly descends its fall as you all turn up to watch a large white dragon glide down towards the balcony. There it is, the cliff. I think the word I was looking for the entire time was cliff, but I called it a balcony. That's okay. As you watch this dragon gracefully polymorph into a pale half-elven form, the humanoid form of Leon, as you glides down and polymorphs and struts into a walk as he approaches you. Greetings, friends.
I'll
It is an honor to see you all again.
I want to shake his hand. That's my boy.
He
Same to you.
shakes your hand and bows in a formal bow towards you.
I'll do the same.
Fifth dragon I've ever seen, and I still am not getting tired of it.
Wait till you see Tyrael.
Alistair,
No offense.
I don't think we formally met, my friend. My name is Leon. I am a servant and offspring of Tyrael.
I think I remember you from the rails.
The rail glider,
Yes.
yes. Most uncomfortable journey. It is a pleasure to formally speak with you, Alistair.
And
For
to
your
you.
thank you, as he formally bows to you, and then he turns to your other members and bows to the others. And were your efforts in Arist fruitful?
The people are safe. That's what matters.
Well, most of them, anyhow.
Understood. Well, you made it just in time. I believe the others should be here shortly. Come with me. We shall meet with Her Majesty.
Of course.
Should we get Tobin dressed in something a little bit more formal?
I'll kind of look at Leon like with a little bit of a scared look, like, oh crap, should I be dressed in something nicer?
I can take care of it. I'm just wondering whether or not we should be putting him inside of something a little bit more regal looking if he's supposed to be a representative.
I'm sure, Sir Knight, that you look just fine in your armor. You have a mighty look among mighty look.
Although I'm not wearing a tie, so I'm just gonna kind of go, like the like oh like the straighten the tie, like thank you.
You go down to straighten like do the fake tie thing, and then you look down and notice like a buckle that's not as tight, and you straighten that up, tuck it
Right.
in.
and then I just like dust off my armor, just to make sure I look nice.
I have my duster just pulled around me, my teeth chattering. I was gonna say something along the lines of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I pull out one of my spell blank wands, and this is why you guys keep me around. Starting to scribble on the arcane etcher, because there's this lovely spell called Clothier's Closet that can create a veritable wardrobe on demand for several hours at a time.
Oh, good. So you hired a tailor.
I'll,
I am
like
many things.
Owen like audibly laughs like that as he looks at Alistair. More like partner in crime.
Don't expect anything less. You mustn't worry. I think Her Majesty's a little more worried about her other guests.
Right. Let us be on our way.
Right this way, my friends. As
Please
you
be a
see the
service like
beautiful
entrance or something, so we don't have to go through the glacier trials again.
lake. Give me a quick
Trials?
pause.
Oh yeah, the glacier trials.
Alright,
were
you know what?
here
You're
before.
fine. Talk your banter or pause.
You said you watched most of the episodes, right? Do you remember the glacier
Yes, so
trials?
this is
That was
me in
here.
character going,
Oh,
what
sorry.
trials?
Oh, yes. The last time we were here, we had to. The reason I have such a good relationship with Tyrael is due to a series of trials we went through in order to meet her to prove, in a way, our worth. I don't know if I've ever told you, but I'll draw my sword and show you the hilt. This is actually a piece of Tyrael's horn. It's what gives my sword its ice powers.
I can't imagine that that is a very common material to run by.
No, definitely not. We actually found it in the Veilbridge deserts as almost the first time our party was together. Um, we were on a mission from the Queen.
White dragon, desert, to jungle, into an ice dome. Okay.
You'll get there.
I can't remember if the that trial was one of the ones where Caldolin almost died again.
Yes, you almost
Um,
fell into the water.
Okay, it
yes,
was
yeah,
that
I
one.
had to save you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I like barely saved you.
Yep, it's a good thing I recommended tying the rope together.
Right?
But no, it's like what you're saying about like some service elevator. We just like unlock some ice elevator that goes up and down now.
Right? That's what I'm saying, man. Like I just or like in Mario 64 when you do the slide and there's that one tunnel that goes off that's like covered, but you get like the secret exit.
Yeah,
So that you get like, to skip like half the slide.
yeah.
That.
Yeah. I just flew over the gap because, bird.
Yeah, right.
I just skipped everything because bird.
Or, I
Yeah.
mean, we could always just have, like, a Thokwa summoned up by your Summon Nature's Ally and end up just carving out a hole straight into the main chamber.
No, I
Yeah.
know what it is. It's one of those Legend of Zelda teleportation pads after you complete the
Oh yeah,
dungeon.
yeah. Same thing in Elden Ring when you beat a cave, you get a little thing that lets you teleport back to the entrance.
You think it'd be funny if I wild shaped into a young white dragon?
I, honestly, I feel like she may find that a little bit offensive. She may be like, oh, cool, but she also just because every other white dragon, like real white dragons, are all her offspring, right? So she might be a little bit offended.
One of those like change back.
But fun little fact from campaign 1, Tyrael was a young dragon in campaign 1, and it's been like 1,000 years since then, which means that Leon, as much as he's a dragon, can't be more than 1,000 years old, which is kind of neat.
Nothing stopping you from wild shaping into a gold.
It
Ah,
it makes me wonder how exactly like is the relationship between these and the orange dragon.
yeah. Well, because they're starting to like become friends, right? Well, because like he's on the orange dragon right now, right?
Yeah, he's there training and everything
Yeah.
else.
Um. Yeah. I hope it's good because that would make him one of his like lesser offspring, right?
Yeah,
As
yeah,
like a
because
dragon. Is it a dragonborn? No, dragonkin, right?
I'm a dragon adept class, so
Oh,
there's
I
two.
love dragon adept.
Yeah, there's two ways where that could happen. It could either be I'm descended from a dragon, or I have the soul of a dragon.
So you're probably like Niz is probably like well, you'd know better than I do, but I assume like grandchild of the of the orange dragon. Like one
Yeah,
of his lesser dragons had a kid.
that's what I was thinking. I think Wes might be leading more into like the soul portion of it though, because I had it
Okay.
written in my backstory that yeah, I'm descended of like a. It's a very hidden gene that like got awoken inside me.
Right.
But I think Wes might be going more the soul route.
Right, okay.
The father's brother's cousin's former roommate.
Yes. Who
A
apparently
young
they got it
green,
on with.
a young green dragon might be fun.
Yeah, because yeah, that would be interesting. Varys might like be okay with that, since Varys is kind of like your dragon.
Hmm.
By the way, since I dinged Artificer 12, that means that I have craft staff, which means that I should take a look
Yes.
at your staff sometime, the broken one.
Oh yeah. Oh, also, oh, I was about to say something. Oh, I can't remember.
John's turn. I apologize.
That's all right.
Hello. I'm considering turning into a young green dragon.
He said he was considering. He's like, "How would it be funny if I turn into a young white dragon?" I'm like, Tyrael might find that a little offensive. But anyways, what you missed is I filled in Alistair's Alistair about the glacier trials a little bit and the piece of Tyrael's horn I have in my sword, as well as what else did we talk about there? There was something else I wanted to mention, but I'm just blanking on it. I don't know.
Glacier Trials, like meeting Tyrael.
Yeah,
Um,
I told him that we had like he's like trials, and we were like, oh yeah, we had to like I had to like prove myself, and that's why I have a good like relationship with Oh, I also just wanted to
yeah.
say to you, Alistair, I'm glad you don't dislike dragons like you dislike gods.
I mean,
I mean, dragons are
I'm
more
impressed by
elderly.
them.
Yeah, no, honestly.
Sorry, 2
No,
seconds.
it's just like I heard you say that. I'm like, thank God this isn't like Paylor.
I can bite my tongue when I don't feel civil.
Yeah. Well, because based on like the lore of this world, dragons and gods are kind of like on the same level, like in a similar way. Like they're both direct offspring of the Everdark. The dragons were actually first, I believe.
You leaving drinks here? I'm gonna drink.
Kind of like the Titans with the gods.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been rereading Lightning Thief.
Nice, nice.
I may or may not drink them. Who knows? Yeah, probably.
I just want to double check. I should be right, but I'll double check with
Watch your
Wes.
friend.
I haven't paused, just so you know.
Yeah, no, he told us not to. Wes, the dragons were before the gods, right? Oh, he's not plugged in yet.
We're back in action.
Wes, dragons were before the gods, right?
Yes, they were the Everdark's first creation.
That's what I thought. I knew that. I was just double checking before I tell people lore that's wrong.
True, fair enough. Yeah, we are still
All right.
going, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
we've been going the whole time.
Awesome, perfect, fair enough. I'm excited to listen to this banter later. So, Leon and leading the Adinaul down into the open ice chamber. This circular domed roof is covered in white and blue ice, kind of glows softly with a pale light.
I'm gonna elbow Calduin and just be like, "Don't fall in this time."
That was one time.
As instead of the small ice sheet that you all fell down, you see instead opposite the cave mouth is a oh, there it is. Sorry. You see a grand gateway carved out of the icy white and blue ice. It's like it's carving just like a dwarven stronghold, but it's carved out of the most precious diamonds and gemstones.
Sweet.
Following through the gates and down a passageway, you see many other small runoffs of other caves that spin and wind in an endless labyrinth.
Wes, quick question for you.
Party, yeah.
I feel like we may have, but have we seen Tyrael's human form when she like
The only time you saw her human form was in that shared dream you had of all the gods.
I feel like it
All
was
the other times you
Galadriel
met Tyrael.
vibes.
It was. Oh yeah, it's kind of it makes like Galadriel with the White Witch. From
Yeah.
Narnia.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah. Cool. I recall now. Yeah.
But
Thank you.
the main party stays on the more broad and kind of mostly straight shooting cave. It suddenly opens up into a vast chamber. You see standing gloriously above in front of you is a palace of ice carved within the heart of the mountain itself. You see on the floor dotted before the ice walls, you see circular pools of cyan water that glow in a turquoise arcane light.
H2O, just add water type shit.
Above, you see many caves in the walls and into the roofs and leading into the crystal palace. Before the great doors, you see sitting upon a throne on a raised platform sits the fair Tyrael. You see her in her humanoid form. Her crown of silver and diamonds glisten in the pale white light. You see her white dress flows and fades into a deep turquoise, cyan at the bottom. She stands from her throne, raises her arm, and greets you all. My
Um,
dear Leon, brave Sir Tobin, and the rest of the esteemed Adenaul,
I'd like to kneel when
defenders of
she
the
calls
world.
my name.
You kneel, Leon bows.
I tip my hat, but still shivering.
It is wonderful to see you all. Come forward. She beckons you over.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely head where she beckons us to go.
Tobin confidently walks forward. Leon trails slower behind. And the rest of the Adenaul will follow behind them. Greetings, brave heroes. I thank you all for coming to this meeting today.
Of course, milady, as I'll do like the same sort of bow that Leon usually does in response to Tyrael, and I'll be like, I must say, I love what you've done with the place.
My caves are ever evolving and ever growing as we prepare for the darker future. Speaking of, as you are aware, I have invited the many colonies of my offsprings to attempt to recruit them for our growing war against our enemies. But the colonies have not been able to align under one banner for many a long year. I do not question their allegiance to me, but to each other is challenging. You see, they are wild now, reduced to hunters rather than warriors. Except, of course, for the White Hand, but they too have become somewhat like mercenaries. They have secret dealings with many groups across the shores.
Yes, that is quite unfortunate, but whatever's going on, I'm sure we'll find some way to figure it out.
So, what is it um you wish of us, milady?
I need a general, Tobin, to lead my armies. They must swear their allegiance to you, as well as to me and to your comrades.
Uh,
I need
as
them to trust you.
as honored as I am, milady, I mean no offense by this, but I'm not sure how you would want me to do that. Why would they, spawn of the great Tyrael, want to bow to a mere mortal boy?
Tobin, the quest you're on is beyond any comprehension of some mere mortal boy. You have grown in strength and in wisdom. I have seen it. It is why I have named you Sir Tobin the Brave. So be brave, my knight. I must follow your lead.
Now, I am sure that you are convinced of this, but uh, as much as you said they may be loyal to you, um, I feel as though this, um, even though you might say to them that I am worthy of the position, there may be some backlash, especially amongst the wilder ones. Is there a way you wish for me to prove to them that I can do this?
I walk forward. I don't mean to interrupt, but Tobin, have more faith in yourself. I have seen you time and time again prove yourself over and over. You have talked your way out of many situations, some that would probably have been deemed impossible. You are strong and confident, and you take command. All you need is a little more faith in your own abilities.
I'll put my hand on Calduin's shoulder and just kind of say, as much as I am inclined to believe you, it's at this point, it's less of an issue of self doubt, but rather what they may think of me. Sure, you have seen these exploits, and as much as I am willing to agree with you that between our group and me and myself, I've definitely overcome some things I could never imagine, even just a few short months here. I feel like months, right?
In months, not yet a year.
Like, yeah, not quite. Like a few short months. I would have never dreamed to accomplish, but uh, now, uh, Tyrael, my lady, would you are these groups, these different factions, in an organized sense? I know you claim some of them are more wild, but if uh, whatever needs to happen, your army would obviously be very vital to our cause meaning not just our parties, but yours and the other uh, aligned deities and dragons. Do they have like a leader that I could either talk to or even if necessary prove myself in combat to show that I'm worthy of leading them?
I shall answer in part. Um, to the point of proving oneself, I'm afraid we must just wait and see. And their leaders, as far as I know, the White Hand, they have their own elections of a leader, but the colonies of the Hordlings, when they do meet up, they have a contest of strength to see who prevails. I have not seen very many consistent leaders, and so I too will be meeting their leader, and probably the White Hand's leader, for the first time.
Now, if
They will
they
make themselves known to us.
very well, and if they choose to have a contest of sorts, would this be one of the places where they would do so? And if so, do you think they would allow me a chance to participate to prove my worth?
Fortunately, I do not know. We shall, unfortunately, have to both wait and see.
I understand.
And in that moment, you hear horns sound from deep within the caves. Its call echoes through the passages and stairs into the great cavern.
While they're
Sound
coming
of
in,
marching can be heard.
Tobin would like to take like he's gonna take a deep breath and just like stand up as like straight and confidently as he can as he hears the rest of the Tyrion's underlings approach.
Excellent. Appearing through the caves where you all had entered, you see in rank and file, and rank, that's what I meant to say, a great number of white-scaled, dragon-like beasts walking on their hind legs. They carry cruel and jagged weaponry, and they stare in malice with their pale red eyes. Their face is like an amalgamation of a bugbear, a dragon, and a vulture. They have a crooked-like beak snout that's just drawn into a sneer. These, as Leon kind of whispers and informs you all, these are known as the White Spawn Hunters. Behind them,
Monster
more
Manual 4.
hunters. More hunters ride upon great serpentine-like beasts, bigger than a horse. It has a large belly and short, stout legs and a tail leading to sharp fins like a gruesome maul. Its underbelly is made up of icy blue scales, and the back and neck made up of shaggy ivory scales. They lead to pale, watchful reptilian eyes and a great snout with many teeth. These are the White Spawn Ice Skitters. The hand marches their way into the cavern as they all stop as one hunter moves from his position and approaches the raised platform where you all are gathered. Empress of the Tundra, Queen of Frost and Right Hand of Justice, the White Hand acknowledges your grace and supremacy. I am Chieftain Kavarn. The hunter bows low to Tyrael. Welcome, Chieftain Kavarn of the White Hand. I thank you and your tribesmen for answering my call. Your haste has not gone unnoticed. She politely bows her head. I see your strength blossoms in the waning winter. May your hunt bless you and your families for as many moons as stars in the sky. And the blood of the fireflesh shall stain the snow in your honor, great lady. Vern bows again and steps back into rank.
Tobin?
Caves. Go on.
Tobin? For the sake
Yes.
of diplomacy, you do know how to speak Draconic, right?
Absolutely not.
Do you want me to get on that?
Yes, please.
I can take care of it.
Thank you.
I speak
I
Draconic.
think
And this is Tobin like standing up as straight as he can, like holding his like the palm of his sword, just like out of the side of his mouth, like, yes, please, thank you.
I think it's canonical that nobody except for Yonatan understood that conversation that just happened.
Oh,
It
was
was
that
just a
in
bunch of
Draconic?
growling towards it. It is now based on his comments. I think that's funny.
I speak Draconic.
Nobody except
Good for
for
you.
you speak. Okay, Alistair and Yonatan both understand the exchange that took place, and then Alistair kind of leans to Tobin.
Yeah.
This would have been even funnier if Nees was here, because that means Tobin would be the only one who can't understand it.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that would be funny.
I'm going to whip up a wand of Voice of the Dragon, and that's going to be a 32. And you know what? I'm not even going to try to run the risk of a failure. I'm going to pop my best surge of fortune to get a natural 20 on the roll. So that way I just have
Fair enough.
and I cast Voice of the Dragon on Tobin. For the next
So yeah,
2 hours,
beauty.
you have the ability to speak and understand but not read Draconic.
Beautiful, thank you.
You also have a
Beauteous.
+10 bonus on or enhancement bonus on bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate.
My man. Oh, buddy, I'm about to intimidate. All right, okay. Cool, continue us.
The caves begin to tremble to the sound of a great many claws grinding against the icy floor. At once, a great host of vicious, lanky, white-scaled beasts flood into the chamber from every passageway. They stand no larger than a goblin in stature, as they bear horrendous black claws and sharp teeth exuding from a beak-like maw, with beady eyes that stare as they chatter in a strange chittering snarl. One jeering voice climbs up above the rest, but Leon leans into you. These are the white spawn hordlings.
I love white spawn hordlings.
They're so cute. They're awesome.
They're just a cool
One jeering
creature.
voice climbs above the rest. Why have we been brought alongside these oppressors? The 13th Let's try that again. The 13 clans have answered the call, Great One, but we will not answer to these Varben. One hordling crawls from one of the higher passages and approaches the platform. The Honorable Puck, I am, and Puck appreciates being in your presence once more, my Empress, and I bestow this gift. See a party of hordlings come forward bearing great elk horns, but much larger and mightier than most, as if cut from the temples of the King of Elks. I thank you, mighty Puck, and the many clans of hordlings. Tyrael begins to speak louder, beholding all of her offspring in the cavern. I thank all the many hordlings, the great hunters and skitters, whose ancestors were once the great terror of the North. Behold, I am your Queen Mother, Empress, and right hand of justice. Beside me is my one and only pure child, Leon the Lesser, a great dragon and one who demands your respect. Hold him to the same love that you give me, for he and I are the same. A murmur passes across the white spawn. This is Sir Tobin Riamond. With him are his comrades, the Adenaul. They have worked tirelessly to undo the destruction wrought by the Dark One. Sir Tobin bears the remains of my horn. He is my knight and under my protection. He is the offspring of the great general, but also goes with the blessings of Pelor the Wise. Silence upon the crowd. Everyone looks to the knight with the awkward posture as he's shallow breath as he looks over the many eyes staring at him. Foul.
I kind of look over to Leon. Should I say something, or is she still talking?
This awkward silence has gone on long enough. I think they're waiting for you.
Tobin is going to draw his blade and put just like not very hard, but like push it into the ground, showing off the obsidian stone that is the remnant of Tyrael's horn. So is she just like remind me? So is she just like have like one of her horns cut off, or like what's the deal with that? Like obviously we don't see it in
Yeah,
her
she's
humanoid form,
missing
but
one of her horns. I can't remember. She has multiple horns on her head that
yeah.
kind of come down in a ram-like pattern. I can't
Oh,
remember
okay.
which, but one of
Right.
the
But one of the
horns
like
have been cracked off.
okay. I'll do like Tobin will do like his best announcer voice, and he'll be like he'll turn to like face the crowd to like the best of his ability. I know they're
Roll
like
me.
spread out, but
Um. So you have a bonus on intimidation because of this dragon speech, right?
and diplomacy, I think he said. But what did you say?
The bonus is a +10 to bluff,
Oh,
diplomacy,
bluff. Yeah.
and intimidate.
Let me do. Can this be both diplomacy and intimidation? You know what I mean?
Diplomacy. Well, okay, hold on. Where's my character sheet here?
Like, because I'm
Look at
trying to
what's the
make
base
myself
skill of diplomacy?
charisma, I
Is
believe.
charisma, and so is intimidate. So I don't think it would matter either way.
Oh, okay. So that's gonna be a 24. Wait, I didn't even check the bonus. I'll do whichever one's my best one then. 2 and intimidate. Yeah, so that's gonna be a 26.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you didn't like fail miserably. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can take how well you rolled into account into
So
how
yeah.
well your speech is prepared.
So Tobin's going to put his sword into the ice a little bit. As his wait, so when she said like spawn of the great was she referring to Jeshima there?
Yes, in
Okay.
history, Jeshima is known as the Dark General.
Okay. So as I put my sword into the ground, uh and he like, he really focuses, his eyes are going to be I don't know if any of them would have like seen Jeshima before, but going to glow like Jeshima's eyes like he does when he uses magic, and like like when you breathe out and like that frost like you get like, but that's going to like exude from his body as well as like creep up his sword. I am Sir Tobin the Brave, dubbed thee by the great Tyrael herself. Um a knight and savior dubbed by Emperor Killian of the Darian Empire, and holder of Tyrael's horn, wielder of the blade that holds it. I have been brought here by Tyrael herself, and I will do what I must to garner your respect. As he'll look at each of the leaders that have spoken beforehand, just well, kind of like not necessarily like staring him down, but like looking between all of them as he says this. And that's in Draconic, by the way.
Yeah, you hear one voice climb up from the crowd. We do not know this human. He is not of dragon blood, and worse, a blood traitor. I will not serve. You hear a hordeling shout. Your queen has spoken. Have you no shame, you runt? You hear a hunter growl as he draws his blade and looks towards the hordeling that spoke.
I'm just gonna kind of that will not be necessary. If anybody does not think I garner the respect that the Empress herself has said I deserve, I will gladly take on any challengers, and if you are not willing to serve me, then you can bow to me as your superior.
Naughty. I am the hunter. Big many creatures. I would eat you alive if I tried.
We'll see how that feels when the hunter becomes the
Eyes,
prey.
white. Besides, the white hand has no spine. The white hand has no spine. What, did the Hordling clans not lose a queen's gift? Oh, do not, you worm. You, at the mention of the queen's gift, as the crowd begins to roar up uh, in difference as the hordlings and the hunter begin to growl and stare off between each other. You see Tyrael kind of shoot Tobin. You see Tyrael shoot you a very worried glance as she stands. The Fabergé of Frot and Frost is missing, and you bring me a bone? Talk. Explain yourself. It wasn't our fault, great lady. Puck falls to his knees and wails, The Fireflesh stole it. Yes, they stole it.
Was that one of the I feel like you mentioned that name before.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
The Fabergé of Frot and Frost is something new to you.
No, not that, but the who stole it.
The Fireflesh? Yes, I think it was noted to you. I believe Leon told you. So the targets, the people who the white spawn are currently like fighting, is the red spawn,
Oh, okay.
Chandra's offsprings.
Right.
One of the terms that the white hand, the white spawn, use, as they call them, the Fireflesh.
Okay. I'll just kind of turn back to Leon. What is this gift? Is it important?
Fabergé of Frot and Frost is an ornate piece of jewelry that was given to Tyrael by Arcanos to guard. Two, three,
I see.
two again. Sorry. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hold that one back. All right, hit the mute. Could you, Tobin, roll me a knowledge history?
Sure.
And also, before you do, does in real life James know what a Fabergé is?
Is it a decorative egg?
Okay, perfect. Roll on.
So just base into that'll be because I don't think I have knowledge history. That'll be a base 21.
Yeah, so Tobin also recognizes that a Fabergé is a decorative egg. Frot and Frost you begin to ponder on. Frot is almost like foresight or worry for
The future.
things that to happen. Sure.
So that representing Arcanos / like the Scrolls of Time that and then Frost representing like Tyrael.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fact that this item is an egg given by dragon quirks your mind a little bit.
Okay.
As the crowds begin to grow louder and growls and in contests between each other as you hear insults and snide jabs shouted at the opposing sides.
I am going to just walk over to Tyrael, Tobin, or not Tobin. I'm gonna walk up to.
You're already kind of there. If you say something to him, you don't need to walk anywhere. You're just kind of in like a semicircle, looking out towards the crowd of white spawn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just talk to Tyrael and Leon and hello, and just say in Draconic, hello, Your Majesty. A pleasure to see you. Well, whatever Tobin and Dragon folk are doing, hopefully they don't kill each other.
One who knows the language of my people. Greetings, Jonathan, Fallen Star. You stand taller and healthier than last I saw you. I'm glad your truths have been revealed to you.
Yes.
Tobin.
The Everdark had a hold on me for a bit, but everything is good now. And now I can stand.
Everdark has a hold upon all of us.
Indeed.
We must unite ourselves. Tobin, I hate to ask more of you.
I will retrieve
Perhaps
it.
if you could retrieve the Fabergé. It would be more honorable if you would announce it to them, rather than I.
Was my next move. Tobin will clear his throat once more and be like, allow me to retrieve the Fabergé from your enemies. And no offense to you or your abilities, but instead to prove my worth to you.
The crowd hushes as they look to Tobin. Hawk creeps forward and bows. If the Honorable Knight were to retrieve the Fabergé, the 13 clans will pledge allegiance. You see, Kvern walk forward. Knowing the Fireflesh, the act of retrieving the Fabergé will impress the White Hand, and we would bow. Allow us to share our information with you in retrieval of this object.
Please. tell me where it might be found and what to expect. Yeah, as much as you know, and you may consider it done.
As so I have all the bodily functions attacked all at once. Cavern turns as he raises his claws and White Hand, return to our camps. Spock clears his throat and he says, the 13 clans will return to our resting points. The leaders will have a meeting within the hour. Allow the clans to speak within each other's presence to discuss the matters at hand. The white spawn clear off and begin to head back into the passageways. Leon kind of whistles and in relief as he says, out into the frying pan and into the fire, eh, Adeno?
I guess so.
Nothing
Although
we don't regularly experience.
Tobin kind of cracks his neck and sighs. I was kind of itching for a fight, but I suppose the red spawn will do. It keeps our side intact without their pride getting hurt. As Tobin feeling like more confident now, kind of looks towards the leaving troops.
Or thinning our own allies.
They certainly
I wouldn't
have
have killed them.
for sure.
Could someone explain to me what's going on? I understood none of that.
Well, they don't respect me yet, but we're gonna go retrieve a fancy egg of sorts that I guess was a misplaced gift that has been taken by the spawn of Chandra, the red dragon. And after we do that, they said they will bow to me as their general.
First blue, now red.
Well, we did all right with the blue. I'm sure we can find our way through with the red, although they definitely are a scary bunch.
You all already killed a dragon?
Oh, my apologies, madam. We haven't had a chance to talk yet. Yes, we did slay the coward.
This is news to me. Actually, no. Would I have been told about this?
Probably. I assume you would
You
have.
probably you were filled in when you were retrieved on
Yeah, I'm
a
pretty
lot
sure
of
we
it.
filled you on most of our
Right.
exploits.
Correction.
And why there was the
This
unfortunate and very awkward silence during the middle of the meeting while we were on the Isle of Iker.
Yeah.
You see Tobin, roll me a sense motive.
Okay. Oh shit. My die got away. Excuse me.
Uh-oh. Don't let it die.
That die
Okay.
wants to die.
Sense motive. I don't think I have anything. So that's just gonna be a 12.
Her eyes kind of flicker to a somber look. She kind of looks distantly at the floor for a moment. was once mighty.
Sorry, once what?
He was once mighty.
Uh, I apologize if the term offended you. That's just what we were told his name was.
No. If you didn't know the origin of his nickname, Solari, um, within back during the Draconic Civil War, during the first mergings of the realm, Solari was bribed and joined the forces of the Everdark in combat with the forces of the gods.
I see.
But in one devastating battle, Solari fled, abandoning his comrades within the Everdark, but not choosing to align with us. He fled and hid within the Boundless shores until the conquest was over, which Everdark named him Coward. Because he was no help to us, and the nickname followed through in history after the Everdark was sealed. My brother was once mighty. He was a wise strategist that was succumbed by greed.
As much as he was our enemy, he was still a valiant foe.
You're right to down, but I cannot help but feel melancholy.
Of course, Melody.
Congratulations. It is quite a feat to have slain an elder.
Not something I
Did
hope
you
we have to
know?
do again, but
Did you know that I am not an elder?
I was gifted a book. I hope you just let me, if you're not okay with this, you can just say, but by a man named Galathar, and in his writings, he mentioned you as a young dragon. Um, so I am aware of the fact.
Remember Galathar.
He wrote fondly of you.
I met him. He was still a young chap. But so was I.
If
Have
you
you met
wish
him?
to pay respect to Solaris's remains, uh, the battle happened in Palos, near the chapel.
His body wouldn't have lasted long. The magic coursing through his body kept his acidity at bay. There's nothing that remains of Solari. Nor was he dignified enough to be fondly written in writing. We shall reconvene in an hour with the leaders of the White Spawn.
Of
And we
course,
shall
Melody.
discuss further action. I must rest for now. Thank you all for being here. Your presence soothed my anxiety. I was
Bow
afraid
again.
on how this meeting would go.
Pleasure is all ours here.
I have prepared a room for you within the guardhouse. Leon will show you the way. Rest and speak as you need, and we shall speak in an hour.
Very well.
Could we throw her on pause for a minute here?
Yeah, I got a pee, so that'd be great.
All right. The Leon leads you towards the palace of ice as he shows you into a guard's room that has been transformed into in one of the corners is a small lounge area with a couple of chairs and a table, and then another corner has a couple bunks for enough beds for you all. And as he leads you in, just gives you a nod and closes the door behind you.
Once Leon leaves, I go over to Tobin. I may have not have understood anything that went in there, but with how you handled yourself, I'm proud of you, kiddo.
Thank you. I may have gotten a little overzealous with offering to essentially take on all their leaders in combat, which definitely isn't ideal for their sakes and Tyrion's sakes. But I think we came to a good agreement, and I think we're gonna be all right.
I know we will. We've dealt with worse.
That's right.
Certainly felt as though you were quite enthusiastic to head up on the conflict front, regardless of the target.
Well, I was gonna offer to save the egg, anyways, but I just needed to let them know I meant business. As much as I may not always feel like it, for Tyrion's sake and for the sake of the realms, I need to garner their respect.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that I was able to support you on the side.
Yes, it's always appreciated.
Well, I'm gonna rest. Cold takes a lot out of me.
Yeah, that's all right. Sounds good.
I should probably prepare a new spell inside of my harpoon if I'm going to be going into conflict again.
Yes,
But
get
hey,
it.
at least this time that we march into battle, I'll actually be ready for it and have a pair or a breastplate that actually is functional and doesn't have a huge gaping hole in the side this
That will definitely be good. I'm obviously waiting for more information, but I'm hoping that the children of Sandra, being fire creatures, are going to be resistant to cold.
Fire creatures tend to be rather weak to it, actually. Just
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. Weak.
in the same way that creatures of ice tend to show weakness to flame. I'm more concerned about making sure that when all of this goes down, they don't directly trace it back to us.
Well, it is what it is, but with Sandra being part of the Vainglorious Act, she was there, right?
Oh yes, she
Yeah,
was the lady of the forge.
yeah. with her being a part of that, it definitely wouldn't be good to have them report back and get even worse on their side. But ultimately, I think it's what we need to do to unite these troops, which will be
I
a great asset for us.
I agree that uniting the forces of Tyrael under your banner is essential. I just don't see how necessarily pissing off Chandra, who, let's be honest, we kind of owe the Vainglorious X one for the recovery of Nudaria.
Well, as much as they helped, I don't plan to owe them anything. So, favor favor or not, we didn't ask for their help as much as it was good, and I'm glad to see that people that the fewest amount of people possible died. I'm not gonna owe them a favor. Maybe I'll spare uh some of their top leaders there, and we can call it even because they took the egg. Wasn't theirs to begin with. So
If we can do this surgically and covertly, I would be happier still.
well, I everybody here is definitely welcome to rest, but for that sake, I would definitely want you there, Alistair. I want all of you there, obviously, but Alistair, I definitely want you to attend the meeting to gain as much information as you can and do what you can with your keen mind.
Let us hope that it goes that smoothly.
Yeah.
In the meantime, takes out his arcane etcher. I think I'm going to start work on preparing a new spell inside the harpoon.
Sounds good.
As you all take. Oh, sorry. Go on, Nate.
Yeah. Um, I'm just. I'm gonna go see if I can find a more private room to be able to do some more research, continuing from last night.
I don't know if it's smart to wander around these caverns. Maybe see if Leon is still around, um, and see if he has a place for you. But otherwise, I wouldn't just go wandering in the caves.
Yes, for sure. I'll go find Leon and see if he's willing to escort me around.
Yeah. As you all take this next hour to rest, or to prepare, or to research. That's where we are going to call the session. Before we do that, briefly, Alistair, as you have your arcane etcher out, you're scribing this new spell into your harpoon. You feel the sensation of scratching on your arm. This is you feel like the sensation of scraping like a claw or a sharp stone upon your flesh.
Now is never a good time, my dear friend. I believe there will be opportunity to deal with this later.
Do you look upon your arm, or do you continue to work through the pain as it scratches into you?
I'll try to surreptitiously look at what has been carved into me.
Yeah. You pull your sleeve back. You see scrapes cut into your flesh like letters. The phrase, "Do not forget," is written upon your skin.
Antsy little fucker, aren't you? It hasn't even been half of a week.
And with that, we'll find out what happens next week as we learn more about the fire flash. And we continue to unravel the growing mission of building ego a new body and gaining access to the tier of Palor. After, of course, dealing with Amarath, the one who currently holds the tier. We're going to find out all that and more at a later date. Right. Like and subscribe. We're on YouTube and Spotify. Cheers.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.
Peace.